There we go. Good evening, all. Or Australian good day.
G'day.
Good day. It's evening
That's
here.
pretty good.
Morning in Australia. Now, sleep. Why is it important, and what impact does it have on people when they can't sleep? And I'm going to here learn as well. What better person to bring live here than Auntie Shazza herself, who apparently has now adopted me.
Yes.
I think it's Facebook or Zoom. I have not got a clue, but I'm just going along with it. But Sharon Chemello, welcome.
Hello. G'day.
Good
How are
day.
you? How you going, mate?
Fantastic. How are you?
Good. Really good.
I know you're a bit chirpy for 7 o'clock in the morning, but
yeah, I think so too.
Probably caffeine. I don't know.
No, just a cup of tea. Cup of tea in the golfer's mug. Golfer's excuses. The caddy got lost. Too many divots. Too much. Lost ball. Wrong club. Too cold. It's my golfing excuse mug.
Fantastic. Now, we need to know why is sleep important?
Oh, God, why is it?
Let's get started with that.
What's that? Let's get going with something light.
Let's get right into it. Let's get right into it.
Well, I think as you and I were saying before the live, Adam, you know, it's a cycle, isn't it? The mental health affects the sleep, affects the mental health, affects the sleep, you know? And we all know what it's like when we're not sleeping well and how tired and irritable we get. Now, here's an interesting statistic that I just heard yesterday. So we have an expert over here called Dr. David Morowitz, and I'm helping David with his Facebook page because I've had such an interest in sleep for such a long time. And I stumbled across his program about 20 years ago, and I've been following it and helping people with it. And then I approached him finally when I had a bit of time during COVID and said, let's set up a Facebook page. Yeah. And David was on an interview yesterday on the Campfire Project that we both belong to.
Yes.
And he said, I think it was that interview. Anyway, he said that ordinarily about 15% of us have trouble sleeping. So about one in 6 or 7.
Something like
but
that.
at the moment, during COVID, the statistics are showing that 64% of people, more than half, 2 out of 3 people are having trouble sleeping. So to me, that demonstrates, I mean, nothing's changed in terms of the environment or whatever. It's mental health because people are out of work. They're not sure what's happening for them in their future. They're trying to homeschool and they're struggling with it or whatever. You know, they can't see their parents or, you know, they're worried about their family and their health and the whole system, the whole world. So the huge spike, you know, from 15 to 64, like 4 times over, 64% of people are currently having trouble sleeping. So if we can help them, you know, we're saving the world, mate.
Absolutely. And obviously, as the saying goes, which I'm sure somebody brought it up, but I think I'm just going to make it up just for today.
Yeah.
Work starts at home. That's where it starts. It starts with yourself, and obviously, I can openly admit, and I'm an insomnia sufferer. I am. And I'm trying to find ways of overcoming that. We know obviously things to avoid, like caffeine, reading a book. Even if it's a boring book, it will still keep you up at night. Playing on technology, avoid it. Or even just eating. I know it's easy said than done, especially when you're raising autistic kids like myself.
That's right.
It is hard because obviously, they keep us on our feet all the time, and yes, it's mentally draining myself when it comes to my mental health. It gets to the point where me and my partner we're only eating once a day, and that's at night time.
My insomnia started when I had 2 children very close together. I was a little bit older. We'd tried for a long time. We finally had 2 children quite close together. So we virtually had 2 babies. And then my sister had cancer and it wasn't looking good. And my mum was away. So I was trying to juggle everything and I wasn't sleeping well and generally, but I also started having anxiety attacks like really early in the morning. Like everyone would be asleep and it was such hard work to get everyone to sleep. And then who would be awake? Me at 4 in the morning, stressing about how I was going to get through the day. And then that just wore me down and I ended up in a real heap with anxiety and depression. So, and that's when I was seeing a counsellor who gave me Dr. David's program, which it was just a photocopied version. I've got the real version here now, Sleep Better Without Drugs. That's the book. And then there's CDs and there's also, you can get it on MP3. So there's audio or visual, electronic versions now. But she gave me that 20 years ago, and that was gold. I held on to it. I worked through it day by day. I didn't have a lot of time to spare with all that I was going through, but I was desperately clinging to that information. And so much of it was common sense once you read it and practiced it. And suddenly I was sleeping really well. And then I ran around showing it to other people for years and years, this little photocopied version. And then I thought, geez, I need to fess up and tell David I've been I've been running around using his program, and it's time that I paid him back by helping him set up a Facebook page.
Absolutely, absolutely, because trauma, that can have a massive effect on sleep.
Yeah.
And again, I'm one of them. I suffered trauma. And just obviously before we came live, talk about how the facts that you spoke with a friend about me, which I'm very privileged. My name's getting out there very slowly, but that's good. That's good because it's good that we're all coming together to stop the stigma. And how the facts that I did attempt suicide, and it's never left me. I still wake up during the night, which I don't know why, but who knows? Who knows what will happen.
The trauma hasn't left during the night. Is that what you're saying?
No, it's still there. Still there.
Yeah. And that's something that I wanted to speak to today. That, you know, here in my house is this excellent sleep program, and Dr. David is doing interviews now for this sleep program, and it's an amazing program. And it has an 87% success rate, and that's with clinical testing and trials. But I also want to add, and he does talk about mental health in there. He's a clinical psychologist. But I would personally, I would extend it even further, which he probably would do now too if he was writing it today. And so I would be saying to someone like you, well, probably do the program, get on top of your sleep, but we also need to heal the trauma. We need to work through that with the right coach or psychologist and work out how to, I call it feel, deal, and heal. You've got to feel it, you've got to deal with it, and you've got to heal it. And there are lots and lots of strategies, lots of ways to do that.
Yeah, definitely a lot of techniques out there. Oh, yes.
Yeah.
There's even groups about insomnia on Facebook as well. I'm not in many, but I need to start looking for some more. And put posts out. But when you've got the belief...
Well, we can get you a copy of this. You can solve yours, and then you can tell others how to do it.
I would love a copy. I really would. Add that to my collection of books I still haven't read.
Yeah.
So I've got loads of books from like PTSD and all that.
Yeah. And just going back to the first question, I had an afterthought that I didn't answer that as well as I should have. Why is sleep so important? And I sort of referred to the fact that so many people are having trouble sleeping at the moment, and therefore that proves to me that mental health, and sleep are so interlinked. But I mean, obviously, while we sleep, we're repairing cells, we're resting the mind, all the different components of the mind that we're learning about. We're resting our body, we're resting our muscles, we're regenerating. And if we don't get that, then we can't perform at our best level each day. We need that restorative sleep to regenerate and to get our body and our mind working the next day.
Yeah, see, just talking about sleep now is making me want to yawn. This is what it does. This is what it does. And this comes to my next question. See, all here, I've got nothing scripted here. This has just come on top of my head and from my heart and all this. This is what I am. It's what you see is what you get, to be honest.
Yeah.
And yawning, I don't know if you know the answer, but I really would love if you did. Why is yawning contagious? I've always wanted to know that.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. It's a funny thing, yawning, isn't it? We do see someone else yawn, and then I think it's the power of suggestion that we yawn as well. But when we do start yawning and feeling sleepy, that's part of the sleep cycle. So there's 60 to 90-minute waves of sleep. And David talks about catching the wave or surfing the wave of sleep. And it's a very big word, something rhythm. Which one?
Algorithm.
No, not algorithm. It's bigger than that. And I should have it written down. I keep thinking circadian, but it's bigger than that. So there's a rhythm, and there's a sleep cycle. And if you don't catch that wave, then you're awake again. So, for example, when you're sitting watching TV and you're nodding off, that's time to go to bed. Because if you nod off and fall asleep in the chair while you're watching YouTube or Netflix or what have you, and then you wake up, you'll notice you start to get your energy back, and you've missed that wave. So, and if you're lying in bed reading, and I know you said some reading is overstimulating, so I probably wouldn't be reading a self-help book or whatever in bed, but reading a lovely novel is a great thing to do. But as soon as you
See, I've just gone on Google now, obviously, to try and find this word for yawning. But I've actually come across what causes excessive yawning. Now, it can be following drowsiness, tiredness, or fatigue, sleep disorders such as sleep apnea or narcolepsy.
Okay.
I don't know if I said that right, but okay. Side effects of medications that are used to treat depression or anxiety. Well, I'm glad I don't take any medication, such as selective serotonin, reuptake inhibitors, also known as SSRIs, or bleeding in or around the heart.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's why you should never look at Google Doctor. You start thinking the worst.
Absolutely.
The name of the rhythm is probably in this book, but I don't want to start trying to read the book. But there's a very long word that means the sleep, the rhythm, the pattern. But mostly it's just important to catch that wave so that you do go off to sleep at the right time, because the next wave may not come for another hour or so. And the other thing is, thinking and worrying in bed. That's probably the biggie for most people.
I do a lot of that.
Yeah, and David says, you know, try a mantra or a chant that goes something like this. You know, I thought about it today. I can think about it tomorrow. Right now, I'm just going to sleep. And you say that over and over to yourself.
Yeah.
And his studies show that lying in bed resting is almost as restorative as sleep. And that was a huge realization for me. And it just takes that weight, because what happens is we lay in bed worrying about whatever it is that we're worrying about, but then we worry that we're not going to sleep. So we're worrying, oh, look, my mother-in-law, blah, blah, blah. And then it extends to, oh, I've got to stop worrying. Oh, what time is it? It's 3 a.m. I'm not asleep. I should be asleep. I need my sleep. And we panic. And as David says, you know, we're waking ourselves with these thoughts, with this anxiety. So if we can say to ourselves, you know, I can worry about it today, I'll worry about it tomorrow, or think about it tomorrow. Right now, I'm just going to rest, or right now, I'm just going to sleep. And if we can realize that laying in bed resting is almost as restorative as sleep. So if you can just relax in bed, you're going to feel a lot better.
Another one is, even though once in a blue moon, I have an empty mind. Once in a blue moon.
When?
Exactly when. I don't at the minute. I've had water or juice at night, no junk food or anything like that. And I'm tired, ready to fall asleep. And when I'm sat up, I'm tired. So when I lie down, head hits that pillow. And when I'm ready to go to sleep, my eyes suddenly open wide and I'm awake. And this could be roughly around 10:30, 11 o'clock at night. And then I can be up until like 1:30 in the morning.
Yeah. Did you say you can milk it?
Who knows?
Laying in bed worrying and thinking, But if you realize that laying in bed resting is almost as good as sleep, that will be a starting point for you. And those two tips that I've just given you, the wave of sleep and the thinking and worrying in bed, that's 2 tips out of this program, which has 50 tips. Wow. And so it's called a self-help program for a reason, because you take the program and you help yourself to sleep. What I used to do is part of the program, and this was the most important one for me, but there'll be others for other people out of those 50 or so. And the one that helped me was, and it's on the 3rd CD if people want the hard copy, or it's on the MP3 if they buy the electronic version. And it's just stretches, relaxation stretches. So if you make a fist now, make a fist for me, Adam, to prove it for me.
Left or right?
Doesn't matter. Squeeze it really tight and then release it. And there's a sort of a feeling of calm that comes over your hand.
See, I've got calm here and I've just got tension there.
Okay, well, just keep trying until, and even if, you know, we do our neck stretches, you know, very gently, and roll our shoulders, you produce a sense of calm in those muscle groups.
You've actually just reminded me of something, which obviously our good friend Philip Chan has advised, and because he's helping me get out there as well. And all this YouTube, when you put meditation in there, because obviously meditation does help you sleep. It does.
Yeah,
but YouTube,
it does.
That doesn't offer meditation, doesn't it? It's just relaxation. And there's another one, which is meditation. It's called, it begins with I can't remember what it is, but it's something exercise. And I actually did this in, I think it was your group, when I did a live video a few weeks back. Obviously you just push, like you're praying.
Oh, isometrics. Yeah.
Isometric, that's it.
That's it.
Where you're pushing for 5 seconds, then you're letting go. And then you're doing all that.
Yeah.
That actually,
Very slow.
that's meditation. That's meditation.
It's a type of meditation. Meditation can be so many things. It can be anything that relaxes you. Just focusing on the breath, and there's different types of breaths that you can do. So if you want to make a box, you breathe in for 5 or so, and out for 5, and in and out. And you're focusing on that box. There's so many types of meditation. It doesn't have to be in the yoga pose with the mudra fingers, with the legs crossed. It can be, it doesn't have to be that. It can be all kinds of things. And we do explain in the Sleep Better program that doing some relaxation during the day is very helpful to sleep, and meditating is very helpful to sleep.
Absolutely.
But those stretches that I was talking about, if I wake up tonight at 3 a.m. because I'm worrying about something, I will firstly say to myself, worrying about it isn't going to help me. I've worried about it today. I'll worry about it tomorrow. Right now, I just need to sleep or to rest. And then I remind myself that resting is almost as restorative as sleep. And then I do those stretches. So I go all the way up and down my body. I usually start with my toes. I clench them and release them. My ankles, my knees, all the way up and down the body. And that's a bit like, counting sheep, but it's twofold in that it's giving me something to focus on. Yeah. Like a mantra, and I'm not thinking about other things. I'm thinking elbows, shoulders, neck. And I even screw up my face, parts of my face, to relax them. And I do that up and down my body. But the twofold is that it's something to focus on, but it's also physically relaxing my body. So absolutely. That's the strategy in the program that I use, but other people find other strategies very helpful. Now, I know that you stay up too late. And I've been nagging at you for ages about that, haven't I?
Yeah. Hey, when you messaged me last time, it was only like 10:30. It was actually around about this time.
Only 10:30? Yeah. So what time do you wake up in the morning, generally?
It varies. It has actually varied, which I'm actually shocked, because obviously an average adult normally has to have about 6 hours sleep. I only had about 7, which is good. Which is good.
Yeah.
Normally
8 is better.
Yeah.
8 is.
Yeah, because sometimes, majority of the time, I'm lucky to even have 4.
Yeah.
But 7's an improvement. But to
7's great.
The question normally, it depends, because if the kids don't bug me in the morning, because it doesn't help that my son's got a sleeping disorder. He can wake up about 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning. He asks for his technology. And he wakes me up playing games. But if he doesn't, and he is actually quiet majority of the time, I can sleep till about 7, maybe even 8 o'clock in the morning. Yeah. And then I'm all.
I find 10 to 6 for me is ideal, and the more people I talk to about it, 10 o'clock at night and 6 o'clock in the morning. Over here, it's not light until closer to 7, but it doesn't mean I stay up till 11. If I can get a little bit of extra sleep, that's great. It's almost like a bank, and if you have 3 nights of good sleep, you'll be feeling fantastic.
Well, that's gone out the window tonight, because it's 10:30 in the evening here.
That's right. And the problem is, if you're interviewing people across the seas, they don't want to get up so early. The last time I did a 6 a.m. interview, I think I said to you, "Oh, never again." I couldn't get my head straight.
I know.
So.
I know. Obviously, I still remember when I got Alan Stevens up in the morning. He definitely got me back. He got me back good. Yeah,
I
because
think
it
that
was
was the same day. I think it was the 6 a.m. start for myself and Alan. So,
yeah,
and now this,
because obviously when I was interviewing him at 7 o'clock
yeah.
in the morning, he actually got me a week later where he was interviewing me at 8 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, oh my,
Bit early.
just a little
Yeah.
bit, just a little bit.
Now, just in this program, there's a sort of a reference card, and it's called a quick reference card. So it goes through. I think there's 10 strategies or 9 inside, and then there's 3 on the back, just about the thinking and worrying in bed.
Yeah.
So, and it says number 3, more sleep is lost through worrying about not sleeping than any other cause. So, and it finishes with, what's the worst thing that could happen if I don't sleep tonight? Because we really go into that anxiety state. We start to panic,
Yeah.
I'm not sleeping, but if you can use this, what they call, cognitive behavior therapy, which you would have heard of in your studies.
Yeah, I have.
What's the worst thing that can happen if I don't sleep tonight? I'll be very tired tomorrow. Okay, I've been tired before and I've made it through the day. I won't die from it.
I
won't die.
grouchy.
Yep. I'll make it through the day as I always do. So I'll just lie here and rest now. As long as it's peaceful rest, that will be nearly as restorative as sleep.
I would
So
love
a
to
lot
swap
of this
places with you about that then. I would love to swap places. It's never a quiet house here. Never. It's a madhouse. It's a madhouse.
Yeah. But the kids go to bed at what time?
We said, well, obviously we tell them to go and chill into bed round about 6:30 in the evening, and obviously they just chill out, watch telly or play on the tablet.
Yeah, that's good.
Play on the tablets, and we tell them to hand it over about 7:15.
Yeah.
And then that gives them about 15-20 minutes without any technology, just to settle down and go to sleep. Does it work all the time? No.
No, of course not.
It doesn't. Because kids don't listen. They don't listen. But I'm working on it slowly.
Yeah.
But I need all the luck in the world.
You've got a good relationship with them, and it's just setting those boundaries and being consistent. Because one of my other jobs, as you know, is Auntie Shazza, the teen whisperer, the kid whisperer. So I do a lot of work with families, and it really is about stepping up and being the parent, and not giving in, basically. It's about setting particular rules as a family and boundaries, and then just that consistency. No, come on, 7:15 is when the tablet gets handed in.
Exactly.
And then you can talk quietly, or you can read quietly. Whatever it is that they do at that time, and then it's off to bed. And that doesn't change, so they know that this is the rule.
So finally, what's the best advice you can give to somebody when it comes to sleep?
Well, as I said at the start, the cycle. If you can start healing and fixing the parts of your life that are not working for you, I think that's really vital. So joining free mental health programs online, or seeing a counsellor or a psychologist. There's lots of free information on Facebook, a lot of web